All right, folks, it is time for our Phillies-Diamondbacks preview. The series starts tonight at Citizens Bank Park. It's an 8:05 start. Listen, I'm going to tell you right up front that this series to me is anticlimactic. The real series was the Phillies and the Braves, and I looked at that as the National League Championship Series, which means I don't think the Phillies will be pressed in this series at all. And I know there are people out there that go, never underestimate them. I just can't imagine the Diamondbacks can hang with the Phillies in a 7-game series. And there's one main reason. There's actually two main reasons. Their two best pitchers are going to have to try to beat the Phillies in Philadelphia against Wheeler and Nola. Now, they're capable of winning a game, but then where do they go with 3 and 4? I think the Phillies, with Ranger Suarez, with playoff experience as the third starter on the road, gives the Phillies a decided edge against anybody the Diamondbacks can put in there, and especially the fourth start. If they go with Sanchez over Walker, I don't know where they're going to go. Maybe they use both of them, but they got more quality innings coming out of the fourth slot than the Diamondbacks would have. Okay, so the Diamondbacks, we know what they are. They're a spunky team. They're fast. They steal bases. They use sacrifice bunts. They do situational hitting. They stole 166 bases this year. Corbin Carroll, who is a wonderkind to me, this kid, a little guy who hits home runs and is the fastest guy in the league. 54 stolen bases. Arizona was first in the league with 21 runs above average created by base running events. Now, this is like an ultimate analytical statistic, but base running events are steals and attempts and pass balls and wild pitches and defensive indifference. So they take extra bases on you, which puts runners in a better scoring position than they normally would. All right, so that's the key to them scoring runners. In addition to this, I know we all love JT Realmuto, and the notion that he's deadly to run on has not been the case this year. Realmuto has only thrown out 22% of base stealers. So you can rest assured that this team is trying to run the bases on the Phillies. Now, they haven't done it so far in the playoffs. They've actually relied on power in the playoffs. But Nola has made adjustments to keep runners close. He's using a slide step now. So that negates some of it. But I just don't see where the Diamondbacks have enough strength. And I think they're going to hit this wall now. They've been playing with house money. They've been playing with nothing to lose, but they're now going to start this series in a cauldron. All right. And I think the reality is going to slap them in the face that they're not in Kansas anymore. Like this is serious baseball now against the Phillies. And that lineup is tough to negotiate that the Phillies are going to face have them. Now, Zach Gallen gets the start. I know he's got the local ties. I get it. The roster, the Phillies payroll is $280, $90 million. The Diamondbacks have a $121 million roster. Corbin Carroll, I love this kid. All right, so he's 7 for 17 in the playoffs with 2 home runs, 2 steals. But he's not good against lefties. All right, so again, they're facing 2 righties. His OPS is 922 against righties. He'll be effective against Nola and Wheeler, most likely. But then if you throw 2 lefties at him, which you might get with Sanchez and certainly Ranger Suarez in Arizona, maybe that knocks it down a peg. Their starter for Game 3, Arizona, is going to be a guy named Ryan Nelson, who's going to tote a 5.34 ERA in there. And there, to me, lies the advantage for the Eagles. For the Phillies. The 3 and 4 games. So I think at best, Arizona wins a game here. The Phillies go to Arizona and win dose. And then come back and win Game 5 at Citizens Bank Park. That's the way I think the series is going to play out. Your thoughts, Harry?
It's not 2-3-2? I thought it was 2-3-2.
Oh, is it 2-3-2?
I'm pretty sure it's 2-3-2. Yeah, I remember not liking 6. That.
Maybe they win it. Maybe they have to win in 6. The Phillies win the first 2. Arizona takes Game 5. They come back here and they win Game 6.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have them. Phillies in 6 as well. I mean, they do have good pitchers. Gallen may steal one here or there. They did not hit him when they faced him here at Citizens Bank Park well at all. However, he, in that game, I specifically remember, was not throwing a lot of strikes. They swung at a lot of balls outside the strike zone. I don't know if they were trying to be aggressive. That's what you want to do with him. You want to be aggressive on Gallen. You want to go after him early in the count. So maybe that was just their game plan regardless. But I kept screaming, take some pitches, let this kid, wear this kid down a bit.
He's a good pitcher. He pitches the spots. Yeah, good command. There's a lot of pressure on him in Philly, he's got all his family thing, and he's got to get all these tickets. He had to buy all these tickets. That's the worst possible thing for a pitcher who's got to focus on the playoffs. That you got to think about that other stuff. And he said he hasn't met with his family, and he won't do it until after the game, which is all well and good. But he still had to get tickets. There are a lot of people.
You're right. I would feel a lot better if he embraced coming back and being like, man, I can't wait to be in front of all my friends and my family. Like some guys might boost them up, but it doesn't sound like it's doing it with him.
When you got to focus against a lineup like that, and you're distracted by anything, especially the crowd. Like, he can't. He said, I assume it's going to be like an Eagles-Dallas game. I've been to an Eagles-Dallas game. No, it's not. It's a lot more condensed, and they're going to see something that they've never seen. Now, they've tried to, believe it or not, pipe in noise in their practice sessions in Arizona. Everybody have a great rest of the day. This is the Mike Missanelli Podcast. Until next time, we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.